I didn't take it out because it's a pain in the ass, and I'm going to take 5 minutes putting it back in on the video. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and put this in here, and then what I'm going to try to do is get the spring in there at the same time. And what I'll probably do is just kind of push. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a pain like it always is. Grab a pair of needle nose here. Kind of force it in. Nope, that's not going to work, not with those. So we'll put the spring like this, put it against the metal. Get it down in there as far as you can. And keep it horizontal. Then you want to push in with your fingernail and kind of shove it down in there. Now this is where you lose springs right here. So pay attention to what you're doing right here. So kind of just keep pushing it down, kind of keep your hand cupped over it too. So once you see it come through the hole to where you can kind of get a hold of it, maybe with a punch, put your punch in there and bring it down. And you can work it around with a punch to where you can stick the punch all the way through. And now you'll take your pin and follow it back through this way. And this should just slide right through, and you'll see it on the other side. So I'm just gonna give it a little push there. Okay, so that's back in and working just like it should. Putting the Sear block together is actually really easy. You just have a couple little things that can throw you off. Taking the whole gun apart is really easy. Once you do it once or twice, you know, you can do pretty much any M&P. This is nothing like a Ruger Mark II or something like that. So next we have the spring that lifts up on the Sear, the back of the Sear. So we'll push that, and it falls down into its little hole. Let me kind of show you again. I just put it on my punch. Put it down straight into that hole. Take it off my finger, and then just kind of push it down in there. It kind of goes in almost a little track, but so shove that down in there just like that. And then the little plunger you have is super small, so be careful. I'm gonna set this here. I'm gonna grab it with my pliers, my little needle nose, and I'm gonna set it down in there. And I'm gonna push it down in there. Make sure it's springing and it's functioning right. You don't want your Sear not to work here. Okay, so it's doing what it needs to do. Be careful, that will just fall right back out there. Okay, next we will, let's see, go ahead and make sure that doesn't fall out because I moved it. Go ahead and put the Sear in. Clean off this pin a little bit. It's got some factory oil on it. Factory oil on a few of these parts I don't really necessarily need. And this is parts like this when you're in the Sear block. Is something I don't recommend putting, 3-in-1, with a lube on it. Typically, you use alcohol when I'm cleaning these, and they'll do what you need to do. You just want to get it clean. You don't want to lube it because lube attracts dirt and dust starts getting in there, and then it could possibly jam up your firearm. It's unlikely, but it can happen. So now we'll put the Sear in. I'll kind of leave this sideways so you see what I'm doing. Okay, so it's gonna go in like this. You see, you got, if you look at it this way, you got that's a better way to show it. And then this piece, now this is what I said on the other video, this is different from the original 2.0s, or original M&Ps. This kind of cups this, and so it goes on. Just like that. So you kind of see the way it's orientated. Got the little piece sticking off the top. So now I'm going to try to push this down in there and stick the pin through at the same time. Okay, got one piece through. Now we just need to do a little finagling. There we go. Right there. Just like that. So, when the first part when I was doing that, I had the notch cut backwards, and I had this piece underneath. I don't know why I would do that. Yeah, I realized what I was doing wrong. So, I said that's a new design for the 2.0. I haven't actually seen that before. So, my mistake on that. So just check it out. I'll show you the way. This before was underneath for some reason. So now, when you look at it like this piece comes out, swoops around the sear. Then you got this piece up here, which is what actually where your trigger bar. I'll show you how it works. Your trigger bar goes in the slot like this and pushes when you pull the trigger. Kind of pushes that back and that. So the way your gun is actually working is when you pull the trigger, this notch right here on top of the trigger bar, this is what pushes your sear block up and out of the way and allows the striker to move. So you push back, it knocks the block out of the way, and then that lifts up. So right now, it's up back here, it's blocking the striker or the firing pin from falling. Push it back, locks the sear, your firing pin block out of the way. Push this back, and it lets the sear fly, or it pushes the sear back and lets the firing pin go. And then boom, it does it again. Let the trigger go back. So, and another thing I've noticed on another M&P, this is an older one, I'm going to kind of give you a pre-warning, that we had an M&P that would, whenever you pulled the trigger, it all went back together fine. And whenever you pulled the trigger, the slide would come back with it. So you pull the trigger, before it breaks, it would pull the slide back about 1/4 of an inch. Maybe 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit. And you notice it was real hard to pull the trigger. And what actually happened was when they disassembled it, they bent this rail right here, just ever so slightly, enough where you could barely notice it. So what it did, it raised up the notch here that actually hits the firing pin block. So it was catching the firing pin block and pulling it back as you pulled the trigger. So all we did, straighten this out, put it back together, boom, worked fine. So that's all how that works. Next, let's see, sear block is done. Now you want this flush against here, so it kind of sits against that. If you have the safety, this is where you'll go ahead and put the little block back in here with the spring against it. So now we'll go ahead and start assembling the frame. We're already 11 minutes in. That piece gave me a little fit there. I wasn't expecting that. So, okay, now let's go with the frame. Now, I can go first. We can just go ahead and drop the sear block into the frame. Make sure this head is flush. You want to go ahead and set it in the frame. You kind of have to set it in towards the front a little bit, drop it down, and then kind of push it back. And then it'll snap into place. So just kind of push back, and you can see their hole. I can get all the way through, so that hole's clear. Now, if it's an older one you've taken apart, you can kind of leave it out a little bit because it makes the trigger bar easier to get into. So before I do this, I'm going to show you a little trick. Now, when you're putting your trigger and your locking block and your the return spring all back together, you have to line all 3 of these holes up, boom, boom, and boom, to get your final pin through here. So what I did, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to go ahead and stick this spring back through. There's just one. It can only go through on one side, and it loops over the top. And so this spring will go up and be able to go through the trigger screw here. So then after that, you have to set the slide lock on top, and it goes through, and it sits right there on top. You want to put the inside let me do this again here. There, like that. So the trigger bar is inside. And what I do, so now when you actually are going to put it back in the gun, you have to slide this part into the sear housing, which I'll show you. And you have to keep these 3 holes lined up along with the locking block. So what I did is I got a little slave pin, and I'll show you. keep it in this bag in my parts box for M&Ps. It's just for M&Ps. And you can make one at home. I'm sure you'll have the tool to do it. It's actually something I found here. So I got this little slave pin. And what I use this for is I took an old Dremel piece, like a Dremel wheel, and I cut it off, and I made it to the right measurement. I sanded or I grinded it down, made it smooth on both ends so it wasn't gonna hang up. But this seemed to be the exact perfect size, and I don't have a measurement offhand of what it is. I could probably, you know what? Let me go ahead. Oh, nope, no caliper's dead. I don't have a digital one on me. Yeah, it's about 10,000. It's pretty small. So you have to. I can't just gonna tell you the measurement. You're not gonna be able to get it because it took me a while to grind it down to it so it's perfect. And even this one's just a tad bit too long. But what I'll do with this, and I suggest doing it because I mean it's not as easy lining all these up. So before you put it in the gun, go ahead and line all this up. Go ahead and punch through and get it all lined up. And then what you want to do is put the slave pin through and get everything in line first. You just want to capture everything you can. So this one, we're almost there. Just need to bump this up right there. So that captures everything together. So now when you put it in, it's all one piece. But this pin will fall out, so just be careful. It could be a little bit thicker, not by much, but I mean, for what most people probably have laying around the house, it seems like any standard Dremel shank like this was going to work. So that's what I used. You might find something else. If you do, let me know. I'm always willing to have more gun bits and tools around. So we're ready to put the trigger back in. We got everything captured with the slave pin. So now I'll take and push right here, and I'll just slide this in. You gotta put the trigger in first, just a little bit. Put it in to where you can pull it forward, and then tuck that down in there. And it's just got a little slot it goes into, so it's pretty easy to find. You'll know because when you look at it, this is lined up, so it'll hit the right there. So now the trigger's in, pinholes are lined up, slide stops where it needs to be for the most part, and the mechanism back here will work. And we'll kind of push it down. You can see, pull the trigger. Let's do here. It's firing pin block, moves it out of the way, releases the sear, raises the sear, allows the firing pin to fire. From here, what we want to do is we can go ahead and put in the pin for the sear block. I should have done that first before I set that slave pin in there because it's probably going to fall out now. But we're going to go ahead and take a pin. Drive it in there just enough to where it's kept in place. And then now we'll put our locking block back in. Try to keep that slave pin from moving while I wipe this off. Get the wool off of it. So now we'll set this in here. Remember, you want to have, I guess, you got to have your takedown lever in there now. So we'll just put that in until it's at a 90 like that. Then you want to go ahead and pop it down in there. Now, this is where it can get, I'm going to go ahead and take this out so I get it all the way down in there. This is where your little slave pin has to be the perfect size, and mine's just not. I have to get it dead on center. So go ahead and make sure that goes down in there first before I put the... There we go. So now I'll put that back in there. You shouldn't have to do that, but I did it anyways because I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished. Okay, so locking block's in. Next thing we do is our second pin where our slave pin is. And this is the head, the pin that goes only one way. Motherfucker. Lost my damn. Sorry about that. I just realized I lost the safety detent again, and I'm gonna have to take out the Sear block to put it back in. Okay, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and finish this up. We'll do it another time. So, let's see, everything right now will be functioning. So we'll grab our pin with the head on it, and you can kind of see in there. You can see it. We got it lined up with the. Sometimes you got to kind of push your thumb in here, push it forward, raise the trigger up just a little bit, and then we should be able to drive this pin straight through. I'm gonna raise it up just a hair because I always have to on these. Kind of see where we're at, if it pushed it through or not. Looks like it needs to come forward just a hair. So it's knocking the slave out most of the way here. It's just getting hung up on this side. Kind of hard to see where it's at here. Okay, so I knocked my slave pin out. I got the pin all the way through. It's between all of them where it needs to be. Hit it on that. Check function, make sure your trigger's working all right. It's pushing the Sear up where it needs to be. And then you can go ahead and install your final pin, which is the last locking block pin. You can go ahead and stick that in. This pin should go right through. Not driving it out, but we'll go ahead and put this in there. Okay, so you got your pins. You want to make them pretty much flush. That one's going to be whichever way it wants to be. So it seems like everything's working here properly. Now we can go ahead and put the slide back together, which is the easy part. We'll go ahead and put the striker in. You want to push down on the firing pin block and kind of set it in there. And now it's pushed down. And now what you want to do is get a little bit bigger of a punch. Go ahead and slide your backing plate up a little bit, and then push down on the housing here, and just slide it up, and it'll snap itself into place. From there, go ahead and throw the back strap back on. It just pops up in there like that. Your little pin goes in this way, and then rotates once you get it up. Put your slide on. Make sure your barrel's in there first. That's what happens when you get moving a little too quick. The blue part goes towards the front. Put that down. Slide the gun back together. Lock it back. Flip your strap up. Test function. You're good to go. Now, see, like I told you before, this piece will fall out, so be careful. I wasn't paying attention, so now I'm gonna have to disassemble the gun again to put that back in. But that's a quick video, you know, not really quick. 25 minutes looks like we're at, showing you a disassembly of the M&P Compact 2.0. This is the shooter's table. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. We'll have some more videos of some gun disassemblies coming up soon. Thank you guys.